So now that you have gone through the gamut of experiences, I don't know how many more there could be of unique nature given where you were, smaller, big, credit union, and now you have all those different historical perspectives. I know you and I have been talking, for instance, that you can be helpful for large company treasury, even though you didn't do much treasury work on their thinking about currency hedging, because that's so much a business now. You and I've talked about that 60% of Apple's earnings are Chinese or from the Far East, so they need to know how the dollar yuan is going to be. You and I were talking about that, and you could be helpful with certain algorithmic guides that do that. You obviously know how to advise in the credit union space, having run and built and developed a very prominent one in not just asset growth, but also how they ran.
Right.
Because that seems to be an expertise you've developed, how to bring good people in. I've met at Affinity, remember I came in and spoke.
Oh, yes, right.
And I was pretty impressed with the people you had. And I was actually very impressed because...
Well, it always comes back, David, to building a good team, right? And I know we've used sports analogies, and but you know, if you want to build high-performing teams, it starts with getting good people and making sure you give them a foundation for success, and also you give them the latitude that they're going to have some failures and make some mistakes, and you hold people accountable. But the best thing you can do is actually give them the foundation and get out of their way and let them execute. And let them know when you need help, let's sit down and chat. When you need direction, when you need a mentor, when you need somebody to bounce something off of, that's when we should talk, right? But for the most part, I'm not going to micromanage or run your business, right? That's why
you were never that way in all your years, right? You were never micromanaged.
No, always tried to
You were
hire
one
talent.
to empower.
Yeah, you got to look for talent, hire talent.
Yeah, I might have mentioned, I don't know if we recorded, but the front of the book with Larry Bird, they asked him, if we recorded it, we'll do it again, but they asked Larry Bird, who's better, you or Magic? And Larry's not shy. You never had to ask him, like when he would go out for the three-point contest, he would pick up the ball and go, who's shooting for second? Okay, so he said, he answered the question that Magic was better than me. Why? Because he made his teammates better to a greater extent than I did. And that's an amazing concept of the two guys who changed basketball, if you remember. 1979, 80, that championship game between Michigan State and Indiana State. And they were passers. They weren't very great scorers, but they were passers. Both from the Midwest. One goes east to Boston, one goes to California, one white, one black. And their teams won. And their teams always... the guys on the teams always played better from them. And that's something you and I have talked about all the time.
I had to, you know, your story reminds me, I worked with a guy at Morgan Stanley who played college basketball and was at Evanston and played against Bird. And I said, so how was it? And he said, well, he scored more points on me in less time than any player I'd ever played against, and I was on the bench immediately.